Can you hear me? So let's start in order to be, as said, in time. The presentation that I'm going to do this morning is structured in two parts. We will start to present mainly the overview of the existing knowledge and the building passport experience. And in the second part, the definition of our ALDREN Building Renovation Passport from the lesson learned and its implementation to set up the project common language. In Europe, the introduction of building passport has been discussed for decades, but there is still no a single definition. The general objective is to provide information to potential purchaser, investor, renter, or user of the building. But reviewing the existing current initiative in Europe, we set up a common view on what we can say, what is a building passport. Can be a comprehensive collection of various building-related documents, a checklist structure which displays most important building data, both on performance and technological characteristics and data, but even a means of protecting the user by providing key features of the property, because we need to have a mean that is easily understandable from all the target group that can have, that can manage, live, and work on the building. Here is summarized a result of our first initiative overview on since years from the first definition of building passport within different European countries. And we try to resume this during our investigation as one of the first actions within a task of the VP2 of the ALDREN project. And the evolution has been conducted and highlighted the importance mainly to have a clear data flow between operators on the quality of the building, to give them a positive recognition and encouragement to properly manage building as a whole and consider the real building value to trigger the renovation rate. Despite the proven economy and technical feasibility of building renovation, and despite even the environmental benefits it could bring, renovation rates are still low and are close to 1.2 per annum. And so what we need, building owners and potential investors face multiple barriers to improve the energy performance of their building. Together with difficulty to access finance, one of the most often quoted barriers is the lack of knowledge about what to do, where to start, and which measure to implement, and even in which order. Right now, APC could be the appropriate tool to provide this reply in a meaningful and comprehensible way. But which is the problem? That right now, the most APC that we investigated within European experience are not designed to provide tailor-made and understandable information about renovation. The importance of the APC evolution into the building renovation passport is a well-known issue in the last decades. As anticipated at the beginning within the first presentation of Anita, the approved APPD amendment at the end of April 2018 stated clearly the urgency of an evolution of the APC into a more comprehensive and user-friendly instrument, the so-called Building Renovation Passport. The three main contents of this should be the main building energy performances, tailor-made and friendly instructions for the maintenance of the building, and a clear and comprehensible roadmap with renovation options correlated by financial and timing aspects. The other methodology is under construction, but with a very fixed and clear goal: trigger the renovation market, increasing the building owner awareness and reducing the investor risk. The ALDREN Building Renovation Passport will be the formalization from all the previous models before presented this morning by my colleague of the project in a step-by-step vision of the pathway to deep renovate and specifying AP targets and renovation actions to be undertaken. So what is a building renovation passport? We can say that three are the main steps that usually follow the construction, the build of a building renovation passport. And these three steps belong to a clear data flow that starts with the data collection that can be from data gathering, on-site or smart metering, or from existing APC, because why not? It's very important to have a connection with the APC. Then the second step will be a data processing. And finally, the data elaboration for the renovation roadmap and logbook definition. The following slide shows a different visualization of the building renovation passport in the European initiative ongoing to give you a evocative idea of the main differences. In order to keep the time, I will present that by keywords and you will see the main important template. In this first example from Denmark, I would say that it's clear that it is mainly a detailed list of information. This is the better home in Denmark. Then we have the Sanierung Fahrplan from Germany. Here is more focused and evident the structure of the roadmap, starting from the today situation and the 5 steps to reach the fixing target according to the roadmap definition. Then we have an experience from Belgium, in particular the Flemish area, the Woning Path, structured and supported by the APC Plus. The image represents a screenshot from the online tool that is being put online a few months ago. Is related only on residential building, but they are working on implement this typology of the building even for the non-residential building as we are working on. Yeah, because maybe I skip this important aspect. We are gonna to realize within ALDREN project a building renovation passport for non-residential buildings. Finally, we have a template from the French initiative, the Passport Efficiency Énergétique. And here you can quickly see the two main issues represented in the template. The first bottom part is related to energy. The data comes from an audit. And the second one is comfort data that comes from a questionnaire. And at the bottom, there is a planning with a time schedule for the roadmap. What we discover here, we made quickly a comparison from the preview building renovation passport experience, and they are summarized, highlighting common points, differences, and new important aspects that they would like to implement. And from this complete overview, we have finally individuated common barrier. The main important was a lack of common database and low data availability, and a difficulty to access subsidy and lack of awareness of an available financial measure. Often where recommendations were included in the APC, they were too much generic, and there was no control on the quality of the data and the certification results, highlighting even a gap between the actual and the design performances. From this common barrier, we started to select what we learned and what we have to improve and integrate from our building renovation passport. For sure, we would like to stress to the importance to have owner and stakeholder engagement to set up a long-term perspective with even a specific timing and sequences of action for the renovation. Comfort, as presented by my colleague Pavel from DTU, will be a driver for our renovation process, and APC and Building Renovation Passport, as said before, will be connected and structured as a friendly toolbox. And all these aspects, they need a common language comprehensible for all the target group. Here you can see in the two latest my slide of the presentation, I'm going to present you how we are working. This is mainly the structure of our BRP2, the core of the approach development of ALDREN. The collaborative way is very important, as you can see from the so many arrows. And the idea is to define a data model of the ALDREN Building Renovation Passport as a formalization from the previous model in a step-by-step vision, specifying AP targets, renovation actions, with an additional investigation on the possibility on BIM integration. What we reached until now. Up to now, the data model of the ALDREN Building Renovation Passport for non-residential buildings has been structured in 3 different sections with specific subsections. Building feature, the first, building performance, the second, and the third is roadmap and step-by-step. For each subsection, the indicators have been selected as a result of a very comprehensible overview on available knowledge from existing databases like Building Stock Observatory, and we are preparing dedicated instructions and references to complete and support person that we are going to use this passport. Hoping that I increase your interest and we can stay in contact for future question or collaboration, and thank you.